Welcome. I am Beth Miller. I am a marriage coach and the founder of the Marriage Saver program. And welcome to this training that we're doing today, where we are going to be talking about the number one lesson that my clients learned in 2023 when it comes to transforming themselves and transforming their marriage. So before we get into it, I just want to quickly talk about the new Facebook group that I've really overhauled and created here. So what it is, it's called Save Your Marriage Support Group for Betrayed Wives of Infidelity. And a lot of you, I find, are here because you're in so much pain, right? You're in a ton of pain. And one of the things that I find is a dominating feeling is feeling lonely, right? It's such a lonely process. A lot of you don't have family or friends who know about the infidelity, and you have the one person you can go to is the one who betrayed you. And for some of you, you have told family and friends, but then you feel judged for wanting to work on your marriage. So I've created this really safe place, for you to come together with other wives that are in your shoes. So let's see here. What I want to do within this group, what I want to do is a lot of things. I am going to help you heal from the betrayal. And I have two screens going because I'm also live over here, so I'm going to go back and forth. But I'm going to help you heal from the betrayal. Those ruminating thoughts, the thoughts that include why did he do this? And I'm just going to close this so it doesn't keep beeping. Those thoughts of why did he do this? Those images that may be burned in your head of text messages and things that you've seen. I want to help you heal that. So getting rid of the thoughts, healing from the betrayal, stop replaying the details so that you can then create a strong and open marriage where you can rebuild trust. And ultimately, when that's the case, you will be able to transform yourself, feeling happier, and transform the communication and the intimacy that you have within your relationship. So I wish you all what you desire within yourself and your relationship. So let's get started. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be sharing the number one lesson that my clients learned in 2023. And this lesson actually combines about three things. So we're going to break those lessons down into a method that they've used, the number one method to help them transform themselves and transform their marriage. So, all right, here we get going. One of the biggest marriage saving strategies is number one, they had to take the lead. They had to take the lead, and they often tell me, like, it seems so unfair. He did this to me. Why do I have to spend all this time working on myself and taking the lead when really he should be bowing down, doing everything he possibly can to try and fix this? And so when we can put that aside and realize, you know what, ultimately I want better. And so often it is women who step up because we know what it feels like to feel good, and we don't want to feel this way anymore. We're not able to just kind of put our feelings aside because we want to face them. It's here. We want to tackle them so that we feel better. So someone has to take the lead. Someone has to be that catalyst for change. I often tell my clients A plus B equals C. A is you, B is your husband, C is the current state of your marriage. So if we don't change any variables, the answer C is not going to be any different either. So we have to change one of the variables so that we get an answer that's not C. Often C plus, something better, 2.0 C. And so one person really has to step up. And so when you step up, what's going to happen is you're going to feel better, because that's the ultimate goal. Step one was we really got to make you feel better. And what we're going to do with that said is what my clients have to do in the second part of this number one lesson that my clients learned in 2023 when it comes to saving their marriage is they really have to listen to these hypno journeys is what I call it, hypno journey. And I'm a consulting hypnotist, I'm a marriage coach, and what I do is I've created these beautiful journeys, hypno journeys that are based on fear. So the fear hypno journey, the rut stuck, if you're really stuck in, what do we want to say, really stuck in anger, so much anger. If you're challenges like he's on his phone all the time, we do the challenges hypno journey. Self-doubt, if you feel like your confidence has been hit. Jealousy hypno journey. A general trigger hypno journey. A cord cutting is what I call it. If you feel really attached to something, we let that go. Along with trust hypno journey. So there's a library of hypno journeys that I've created. And so this is the number one tool. I have a ton of tools, but this is the number one that my clients use to really transform themselves and transform their marriage. And so that's number one lessons. Here we go. They chose to step up. Number two, they took charge of getting in control of their own emotions, beliefs, and thoughts, because these hypno journeys, they're these beautiful guided meditations where I get you really relaxed. You're not asleep, you're fully awake. Your kids could walk in the room and you're like, oh, I didn't finish my hypno journey. I gotta go take care of something. You're perfectly fine, ready to go. But they take you back to memories. They take you back to beliefs that you have, beliefs of I can't trust, or I have some regrets in the way I handled things previous days in our marriage. I wish I wouldn't have done that in years past. And so we work on all these not feeling significant, feeling unsafe to share your feelings. We work through all those beliefs that you have, because in the neuroscience, I work with neuroscience and psychology. And so what we really want to do is do these hypnojourneys where we can change the neurology of our brain, where we're firing different thoughts. But we can't just willpower ourselves into change our thoughts. We have to take control of it through a neurological level of changing the beliefs that are associated with the memories, choosing I can trust, but not willpowering yourself into I can trust, because when we're exhausted, that belief goes out the window. We have to truly believe it on a neuroscience level. And so that's why these hypnojourneys are so powerful for changing your thoughts and changing your emotions and helping you rebuild the marriage you want, because that's what happens next. When you're no longer stuck in fear, longer stuck in anger, when you're not feeling so anxious all the time about what he's doing, where he is, who he's talking to, when he's on his phone, when you're not triggered in the same way, you feel more peaceful. You know who you are at your core. And so my clients, they've learned, number one, they got to step up. They got to step up and really heal themselves of the emotions, the betrayal, the ruminating thoughts, so that they can then show up differently in their marriage. They need to change their variable first so that they can create a different outcome. And when you're in a better place, you feel more at peace. You have the clarity often to keep working on your marriage, or sometimes the clarity comes to like, I'm worthy of better. I don't want to do this anymore. So sometimes that happens too. It's not all like, yeah, I want to save it anymore. Sometimes they're like, you know what? The best thing for me is to exit. I've got to a place where I feel super worthy and I know this is the right choice for myself. But back to those hypnojourneys, they are the real massive thing when it comes to change. So that's what my clients have learned, the value of these hypnojourneys, and they do 3 per week at least. And that's where they get results. 3 per week, 12 weeks, they get really good results with that. So with that said, the lessons they've learned are step up. After they stepped up, they do these hypnojourneys 3 per week, plus other tools, plus checking in to keep accountable so that they can then change their mindset. And then what happens is when they start to show up differently, it's amazing how things just change. And sometimes you don't even notice that your communication is different. Your partner then sees you as different. It's like law of attraction, law of vibration. Your vibration is different. Love, happiness, gratitude, those are all really, really high vibrations. When you love someone, you feel it throughout your body. Your body is literally flooded, every cell, with a lovely, like oxytocin, if it's a bonding hormone, it's flooded, and they can sense that vibration within you. And at first they might not change right away. Like it could be like kind of 6 weeks into this process. But when you clear out those emotions, they then realize that they can trust this new version of you, this different. And it's you within you. You're just taking off if you're an onion, we're just peeling off those layers so that we can get to who you are at your core. And so when we're talking about this number 1 lesson, we got to step up. Number 2, we got to do the hypnojourneys to heal the trauma, the pain. And oh, hi everyone. So we got to heal that trauma and that pain so that then we show up differently. Our partner notices that. And this is really powerful, especially if your partner's not going to therapy. If they're going to therapy, amazing. They may see this change within you more because you can talk about it. But even if they're not, they sense that you're different. They start to trust that they can open up to you more. I once had a client who, her husband just said something really random one day. He just said, I'm not over the death of my sister. It was just kind of out of the blue. She just held space. She just witnessed his experience. She didn't try to fix anything. She didn't do a whole lot. She's like, if you want to talk about it, I'm here for you. And that kind of ended it. It didn't go any further. And that was about 6 weeks in. And that's when she really, after she'd been doing this work and doing the hypnojourneys 3 times a week to really change her brain. And her husband made that little change. And then it was just kind of a snowball from there. He realized that she was open. She wasn't going to unleash any kind of emotion onto him or any belief that she has. She could stay very present in the moment. So that's why it's so powerful. So when you start to show up differently, your vibration's different, your partner notices that within you, and law of attraction, that brings them closer. They can then open up, conversations can change. You're not responding the same way that you used to respond. You're not maybe shutting down or getting really angry. And even if you do have really solid communication already, this will improve your communication as well, because you're going to feel a lot different. And so he becomes more attracted in terms of like just your vibration. So you communicate better. You'll then create more connection, which then will create better intimacy emotionally and maybe physically too there, right? So those are the major steps. Those are the lessons that my clients learned in 2023. And yeah, like, can you see how that would help? And of course, like using certain communication scripts can really help. I do this wonderful guide called 7 communication starters that they often will use. And often we want to start with an open-ended, like why or how, because then you can't have a yes or no response to it. It opens up the dialogue so that you can hear more of what they have to say. So there's some more intricate details that happen within these lessons, but the ultimate thing is that you feel better, your marriage transforms. So give me a thumbs up if you found this training helpful. Also send me a DM if you are in a place where you're like, you know what, Beth, I have some other ideas, some other trainings that I'd like you to do so that I can learn more about some transform my marriage strategies. So it's been lovely chatting with you, and I hope you all have a great day, and we will talk soon. All right, bye everyone.